I'd like to call our meeting to order. The June 28th meeting of the Hanover Borough Council. Would start with a Pledge of Allegiance, if we may, please. And then a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dory, would you do a roll, please?
Cart, Mr. Rowland, Secretary Felix, Junior Counsel Taya Prasad.
Have an executive, and we need a motion to appoint. Second. Okay. Those in favor?
Do solemnly swear
That I will support,
that I will support,
obey, and defend the Constitution diligently
I will diligently,
my duties with fidelity,
my abilities and fidelity,
your duties with
my
fidelity.
duties with fidelity,
I will conscientiously
I will conscientiously
and impartially
and impartially
enforce the laws
enforce the laws
of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
of
the Commonwealth
the Commonwealth
of Pennsylvania, the United States of America,
the United States of America,
and the ordinances
and the ordinances
of the Borough of Hanover,
of the Borough of Hanover,
in obedience to
in obedience to
the proper orders
the proper orders
of competent authority
of the competent authorities
and in full conformance
and in full conformance
to the civil service rules
to the civil service rules
and regulations
and regulations
and the laws
and laws
of said Commonwealth
said Commonwealth
relating to police officer.
related to police officers.
I will also uphold,
I will also uphold,
obey, and enforce the law
obey, and enforce the law
without consideration
without consideration
to a person's
to a person,
race,
race,
color,
color,
sex,
sex,
religious creed,
religious creed,
sexual orientation,
sexual orientation,
age,
national
national origin,
origin,
ancestry,
ancestry,
handicap,
handicap,
or disability.
or disability.
More. Hold on, I looked at me. This is longer than the President of the United States. I do further swear
I do further swear
that I do not advocate,
that I do not advocate,
nor am I knowingly
nor am I knowingly,
a member of
a member of
any organization
any organization
that advocates
that advocates
the overthrow of the government
the overthrow of the government
of the United States
of the United States
or this Commonwealth
or this Commonwealth
by force or violence
by force or violence
or other unconstitutional
or other unconstitutional
means
means
or seeking by
or seeking by
force or violence
force or violence
to deny
to deny
other persons
other persons
their rights
their rights
under the Constitution
under the Constitution
of the United
of
States
the United States
or of this Commonwealth.
or of this Commonwealth.
We don't have any injuries on the job here. Congratulations.
Congratulations. See you for those certificates.
Scott Rowland, welcome.
Congratulations, man.
Congratulations, Ethan. Happy to have you with us.
I need you to sign some people.
printed.
There's just 3 copies if you just sign right here.
Oh, that's just him.
What? That could be embarrassing, but.
Huh? It wasn't
Right.
Walter.
So now I'll give it all to the secretary and then
Alex actually watching from up in the garbage.
Thank you.
Karen's watching.
Thanks.
She wants to make sure you behave yourself.
Okay.
I guess I'm
Don't get too comfortable. Next, you're up for community recognition for the Hanover Eagles, post 1406, please.
Everybody's here.
Well,
still do it,
Well, I think we should ask if there's anyone on behalf of the Eagles here.
or is anybody on behalf of the Eagles in the room?
Save it for
Well, just so you all know, they made a large donation and paid for all the fireworks display for this July 4th. So we wanted to do an appreciation and recognition of that.
well, go ahead. Why don't you read through it?
Sure.
Why don't you just briefly read through what they did and how much money it was, because it's an impressive amount of money.
Boy Scout. He's got big boy toys.
Anyway, I'll just read it. Whereas the Fraternal Order of Eagles was founded in 1898 and serves as an international nonprofit organization uniting fraternally in the spirit of liberty, truth, justice, and equality, to make human life more desirable by lessening its ills and promoting peace, prosperity, gladness, and hope. Whereas locally, Hanover Eagles 1406 has a history of contributing to various Hanover area events, including most recently the 2013 and 2014 fireworks displays, the new authentic Santa's Cabin in 2017-2018, and donations to the Hanover Chili Cookoff. And whereas, nationally, the Fraternal Order of Eagles were a driving force, which I didn't know this, were a driving force in establishing Mother's Day and the Social Security Program, and conducts fundraisers for 8 major charities, including kidney, heart, diabetes, cancer, and spinal cord injury funds, a children's fund, Memorial Foundation, and the Golden Eagles Fund. Whereas Hanover Eagles 1406 has generously come forward to fund the entire amount for the Hanover fireworks display, allowing other donations received to be put toward 2024's fireworks display. So on behalf of me and the council and the Borough of Hanover citizens, we wish to express our gratitude to the Eagles.
Okay, next, it's public comment. Justine, would you care to go? You're our local registered person, please. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi there.
Hi there.
Hi, I'm Justine Truxas. I'm the Executive Director of Main Street Hanover, and I'm here to share some very recent news. Congratulations to our program, Main Street Hanover. Last evening at the Pennsylvania Downtown Center statewide conference, I should say, in Scranton, Pennsylvania, Main Street Hanover was awarded a townie, which I have brought here to show you all.
County.
So, for physical improvements in public spaces for the Heart of Hanover Trails. So I wanted to come and share this with you all because it's brand new, it's very fresh, and we're really excited about it. And I wanted to, if you'll indulge me, say a few words about the program just to share, as well as acknowledge one of my project team members who's here in the audience as well. So I'm so incredibly honored to have accepted this Townie Award on behalf of Main Street Hanover and our Heart of Hanover Trails program team. The team leadership that was there with us in Scranton was Matthew Jackson, Brandon Wengert, as well as board members Mindy Crawford and Margie Lewis. Matt and Brandon have worked with me for the last 5 years to write, edit, design, print, and launch and install this incredibly robust history program for our community in downtown Hanover. History projects can be challenging as they intend to inform someone who may have no connection to the town or no frame of reference to its significance. For those who may not know, or if you all were unaware, and I was saying this in Scranton, so you all may know, but the Battle of Hanover came directly before the Battle of Gettysburg, and some would suggest that it allowed the Union to be victorious in their efforts during those gruesome days of the Battle of Gettysburg. I like to commend Matthew for starting this effort to replace the faded and worn historic wayside markers in our town. His drive started this incredible project a number of years ago through his questioning, why were they faded and who will care enough to replace them? And not only did we replace them, but we set out to interpret the history as accurately and as equitably as possible, telling some of the lesser known stories of figures that are not often featured in these types of history programs. So not only did a writer and historian in Matt and myself, a non-historian but downtown professional, have the desire to work on this, but through Matt we were able to also involve a local business who provided branding and design talent pro bono for the love of the town. Brandon and his family business, L2 Brands, whom some of you may know as Legacy Athletics, were vital to the success of this project. This project set out to replace the worn markers and tell new stories, but also add Hanover to the map for Civil War-era travelers through participation in the National Civil War Trails organization, and continue to further the relationships we've built with the Gettysburg community through this project. I'd like to additionally recognize those where it is deserved, very well deserved, the battlefield historians who helped on the project, as well as local historians, writers, and Hanoverians who supported this project. And to name a few, Larry Wallace, the incredible team at the Hanover Area Historical Society, the Pennsylvania Room at the Guthrie Library, the York County History Center, and the funders of this project, Explore York, through their tourism grant program. We want to thank again these incredible individuals and organizations and for their support in launching the Heart of Hanover Trails. And we also thanked the Pennsylvania Downtown Center for giving us this support. So just so you all are aware, the Pennsylvania Downtown Center oversees all of the downtown or Main Street programs throughout the Commonwealth, and annually they accept nominations for awards in a variety of categories, and we were one of 2 communities throughout the entire Commonwealth that received this award. So it is very prestigious. And I also just would like to also share that we were again accredited with the National Main Street Center for our program work in the year of 2022. So Main Street Hanover does a lot of work in this town, and it really is wonderful to be recognized, and I hope you all are very proud of the work that we do as you all support all the efforts that we do through your funding. But I just wanted to come and share this with you all. We have a senatorial citation coming as well as we celebrate the commemoration of the Battle of Hanover event at the library. So I would welcome everyone to join us. Our commemoration of the Battle of Hanover event will begin at the Guthrie Library at 10 o'clock, and around 11:15 we'll be doing some quick words, sharing information about this townie that we won, and that will be followed by a tour that will be led by Mark Charisse and Matthew Jackson to walk the Heart of Hanover Trails. So I just wanted to come and thank you for your time and allowing me to share this award with you all. I hope you all are as proud as we are. Thank you.
Justine, thank you very, very much for your hard work
Thank you, sir.
and your success.
Thank you.
And hopefully there's more storyboards to come. Right,
Yeah,
Matt?
won't that be fun? Thank you all.
Okay. Any other public comment here on site? And then we'll go to any digital online participants.
If you're joining us via Zoom, you're able to unmute yourself to address council.
Okay? No one here? No one online? All right. Well, thank you all for participating. Next is the consent agenda, item 8A through H. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Approve.
I'll second.
Approve.
I'll second.
Okay. Dory, you capture,
Before we vote, may I make a comment?
please.
I attended the rec board meeting this evening, and AJ shared that 90 kids have signed up for baseball, which is like a record number. And he indicated that our collaboration with the YMCA in the playgrounds is going really, really well. There are kids on the playgrounds. Kids are actually playing and not doing this, inside their house. So, things are looking up. Just want to share that with you.
I think that's really, really good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Because I'm, happy to see kids participate again in that program. Because I think we're one of the few communities, I don't know, in the state.
We can't beat the
that
cost, and it's
do
free,
that.
so it's great.
Absolutely.
Great program. Thank you.
Okay. So do we have any other? All right, so we'll have a motion. Those at the, sorry. We have a second?
Got it.
All right. Those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. All right, so where does that bring us? All right, so now we're, council workshop, that's a name. The appointment of the citizens to fill these board seats that we have open here. So this would be, we have the Planning Commission, the HEDC, and the Recreation Board. I think it would be appropriate to group those three together. Can I have a motion to approve those, please?
Motion.
Thank you, sir. Second, Mr. Kress. Any discussion? Okay. Those in favor? Number 2. Consideration of a motion to appoint the council members to the Fire Commission and the Public Safety Committee. Have a motion to approve that?
So motion.
Thank you, ma'am. Second?
It was moved by Mr.
Seconded.
Rowland, seconded by M, to appoint council members to the Fire
Thanks for letting me know.
I don't know how that did that.
Whoa! I didn't do it.
Sorry.
Anyway, we have a second? I don't, did the computer second it?
It already knows.
All right. Those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you. Item 3. Consideration of a motion to approve the bid for the quarterly newsletters, which would move them to be directly mailed. Margie, would you care to, or Manager Lewis, would you care to elaborate on that, please? Because I think this is a very important point in terms of our communication.
Last year, at some point in time, you folks decided that you would do a direct mail of the newsletter to every home, every resident in the borough. We were working with an outside organization to raise funds to offset the cost of that. That kind of didn't work out that way at the beginning, so we ended up producing the first one in-house. We are now going out and trying to get our own funding to offset the cost. What we feel will be the difference between the amount we're able to raise And the quarterly mailing to each home is about $8,000 to $10,000. That could be less as our donations for sponsors and advertisers increase, but as of right now, that's what we're projecting it will cost.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions or comments on that, Dr. Rupp?
Happy about it.
Yeah.
Just happy about
I
it.
am too. I
Yeah,
think it's,
a good move.
it brings us up and it gets us to everybody, as opposed to some other, well, other processes.
How would
Okay.
that go to people who rent? Does it go to the address? Is that how it goes? Okay, thanks.
And it goes to the businesses too?
Yes.
Perfect. I mean, I hate to say, does it parallel the school district process, but apparently it does.
Every address in the borough will get a copy of the newsletter.
Cool. All right. Thank you very much.
Do we
I
ever
think
think of
that's
partnering
huge.
up with them? I mean, there's a possibility to partner together if they, I don't know how they, never mind. Forget what
yeah, I
said.
don't
Sorry,
know.
forget. Just forget. I'm going to clog it up.
Let's get one process in place.
I'll let you deal with, negotiate that with John.
I did not say that.
Scratch it.
I see Chuck over there going,
Right. I'm not touching it. Anyway, so we
Second.
have a second, and those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you all. Motion carries. Next is, the motion to pay for the business cards.
It's
Which-
actually a motion to award the bids. That's what you folks are required to do.
Oh, I'm sorry, to award the bids, pardon me.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big point, and I think it adds a tremendous amount to the professionalism to our team members of the borough, where they're all able to, when you have an interaction with a police officer or whomever, that they're able to exchange a business card, to identify themselves and identify their communications or communications ability. So, can we have a motion to approve that, please?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Second?
I'll
Those in
second.
favor?
oh,
Aye.
okay. Aye.
All right. Any opposed? Last point is consideration of a motion for the Hanover Borough to authorize the police chief to enforce the disciplinary action of an employee.
So motion.
Thank you. Second?
Second, sure.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Next is the library work group. Mr. Hegberg, would you
Thank
care
you.
to take over?
Sure. Consideration of motion to hire a part-time development and fundraising manager for the Guthrie Memorial Library at an annual salary of $50,000.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Okay, those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I oppose.
Speak up, please.
I oppose.
Okay,
Scott.
so we have one opposed. All right, thank you, motion carries. Governance and Policy Committee, Dr. Rupp.
Thank you, Chairman Rowland. I ask for consideration of a motion approving the amended smoke-free workplace policy. It's just a minor change in the policy that already had been approved.
Second.
Any discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next is Water Resources, for Mr. Ricard. Tim, would you
I knew it was coming your way.
I would love to.
Would you mind carrying that, because you're the,
Yep. Consideration of a motion to approve resolution number 1375 for the amendment to the Intergovernmental Cooperation Agreement for the York County Regional Chesapeake Bay Pollutant Reduction Plan for an extension until December 31st, 2025.
So motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Number 2, consideration of a motion to ratify the following change order for the Shepherd Myers Dam project resulting in a credit of $30.50.
Well, could we delve into
credit
that
again.
$30.50
Say that word
a
again.
little further?
That credit
I just wanted to make sure everybody heard. A was change order number 5 for grouting rewrap in order to bridge the gap in the excavation from the edge of the natural rock formation to the new construction in the amount of $16,386.50. And B, change order number 7 for in-house fabrication of the lower level trash rack by Borough Public Works Department, resulting in a credit of $16,417.
Okay, those in favor?
Aye.
Second.
Second.
Oh, a
Need a
second?
motion? Second. Second.
Okay, we have a second. All right, any discussion? I have to ask her that first. None?
That was a credit.
We're on again.
Credit.
Right. They're all of $30. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
9 million.
Thank you very much. Last, Planning Commission, Mr. Hegberg.
Consideration of motion accepting the J.A. Myers Building and Development Royal Building Incorporated offer to grant the borough an extension of time until December 27th, 2023 for consideration of approval of the Cherry Tree Preliminary Land Development Plan in accordance with Section 508 of the Pennsylvania Municipal Planning Code.
So motion.
Okay, and the
Second.
second. All right, any discussion? All right, those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. That brings us to the mayor's report.
All right.
Mayor Whitman.
Mayor highlights for May of 2023. May 5th, Hanover Chamber of Commerce held the second quarter legislative roundtable where updates were given by our State Senator Kristen Phillips Hill, State Representatives Klunk and Moul, and County Commissioners Wheeler and Hope. Later that morning, I met with middle school principal Tessa Hilliard at Hanover Public School to discuss drug education. May 11th, the Hanover Chamber of Commerce, State Rep. Kate Klunk and I celebrated Leonhardt Metalworks located on Centennial Avenue with a ribbon-cutting ceremony for their grand opening. They provide tube bending, welding, and metal fabrication specializing in custom projects for small to mid-sized companies. May 12th, the Exchange Club held an initial meeting at the Markets on Broadway with all representatives for the annual chili cook-off. The meeting was very productive with lots of good ideas and suggestions to improve the cook-off for this year. Thank you to the Exchange Club and Brenda Rigsby for continuing this Hanover tradition for the 27th year. This year's cook-off is shaping up nicely. The event is September 3rd at the Moul Field Complex, and tickets are on sale now. May 13th, I attended the second annual Fun Day in the Park, which was organized by Valley Forge Restoration Center. Pastor Ron provided his famous fish fry while others grilled hamburgers and hot dogs. There were children's games, bounce house, and praise and worship music. May 17th, SHE, which stands for Support Her Effort Mixer for Women, has returned. The inspirational speaker was certified functional wellness practitioner Dana Alexander, owner of Envision Total Wellness. The event was sponsored by the Markets of Hanover and was organized by the SHE Hanover team of Mary Beth, Cindy, and Liz. May 24th, I participated in the National Opioid Advocacy and Treatment Options webinar for elected officials. The eye-opening and informative webinar topics covered were community strategies for education and prevention, treatment options, new resources, and funding and integration of federal, state, and local policy. May 29th, the month ended with the annual Memorial Day Parade. The parade had many participants and was well attended all along the parade route, as was the observance ceremony held in Mount Olivet Cemetery. Speakers were Senator Phillips Hill and General Grant, who was portrayed by Bob Channel. Thank you to Chief Parade Marshal Brian Cowse and the Allied Veterans Council for coordinating this important Hanover tradition. And then I want to make you aware that on July 5th, there is a patriotic outdoor concert at the Hanover Historical Society brass band, and they're going to be honoring the United States military, local police, fire departments, first responders. And it's a community event that is free, and it starts at 6 o'clock on July 5th. And, at the mansion, the Wareheim Mansion on Baltimore Street. And then another thing that just came out today is there's a free tennis camp, and it will be held at the Hanover High School, and it's been funded by the J. William Wareheim Foundation. It is July 10th through August 9th, 4:30 to 5:30. The equipment is provided. All you got to do is bring your water bottle. So, and if you're interested in signing up for that, you can go on our borough website, and we have a link there. All right.
It's actually on the Facebook page.
Oh, it's on the Facebook page. Oh, okay, Facebook page. All right. That concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Mayor Whitman. I guess that brings us to the other matters, and I would like to ask Solicitor Schultes to sort of give us a preface to that discussion.
Okay, thank you. On June 8, 2023, the borough lost an extraordinary member of its community. Chris Lockard's loss, I know, will be deeply felt for a long, long time here, not only by members of council, but by the borough staff, the residents he served in Ward 5, and the residents of the borough at large. I also know it's been with heavy hearts that the Borough Council has undertaken its duty to seek and name Chris's successor, and that matter is on the agenda tonight. So everyone is aware of the process. Under the Borough Code, when there is a vacancy in the office of council, council is given a very, very short window of time to name a successor, 30 days from the date of the vacancy. If council is unable to name a successor within that time, then the borough is given an additional 15 days to name a successor through the borough's vacancy board, which consists of borough council, exclusive of the mayor, and one registered elector of the borough who acts as the chair of the vacancy board. That registered elector of the borough is Brian O'Neill. If the vacancy board does not select a successor within 15 days, then the vacancy board must petition the Court of Common Pleas of York County to fill the vacancy. Under that procedure, the court appoints the successor. Any person chosen to fill this vacancy will serve until the first Monday in January 2024. For tonight, council will follow an open nominations process under Robert's Rules of Order. That process is as follows. The chair will call for nominations to serve as the Ward 5 council person. No second is required to nominate someone. Once all of the nominations are in, the chair will then close the nominations. Then the chair will call for voting for each nominee in the order of their nominations. A nominee must receive a majority vote, that is, a majority of those present here tonight at this meeting. If a majority vote is recorded for the first nominee, then the process concludes. If a majority vote is not received for the first nominee, then a vote is called for the next nominee. Now, council should be aware that it can vote, even if a council person voted for the first nominee, they can vote for the second nominee because each nomination is taken separately.
I think that's a very important point that has been a point of confusion in the past. If you would you just reinforce that, how that, what that means, if you would, please?
Sure. So if a majority vote is not received for the first nominee, then a vote is called for the next one. So even if you voted for the first nominee in favor, you can also vote in favor of the second nominee. Each nomination is taken separately until we get, or unless we get, a majority. If no one attains a majority, then the council or chair can do a number of things. It can call for the votes again in order. It could call for more nominations, or it can conclude the process. Now, nominees must be a registered elector, and they must have resided in Ward 5 for at least 1 year.
Thank you very much.
We begin now.
I'm sorry?
We begin now for the nominees.
Well, I'm going to go through this. We have the following candidates have expressed interest by submitting a citizen interest form. There's Mr. Edward Lockenbill. There was a Elizabeth Garrett, but she retracted her candidacy, I guess you would call it. And there's a Mr. Isaac Riston. So with that, I would like to call for nominations of the candidates for Ward 5.
I would like to nominate Ed Lookenbill, please.
I have my hand up.
Number 1.
Okay.
I'm nominate Isaac Riston to, he has been several of our meetings, he's run for office, he knows us. He also was particularly articulate in his interview, saying that he speaks for the people and has a voice at the people, and I think young people. And I think a lot of us are not, I include myself in that group, a lot of us are not young. And so I'm just saying.
I'm still young.
Okay, I'm not. But he has, sort of in touch with the younger group. And we want to make sure that we're as transparent as possible with those people in our borough.
That being said, I'd like to say that each one of the nominees, each one of the people we spoke to, they look like they would be benefiting us by being involved. So regardless of how things go tonight, I hope that they all continue to volunteer and be involved, even in a committee, please. Don't stop.
I think that's, Mr. Fuentes makes a very, very important and valid point that we need to build our bench, if you will, of folks that are engaged with our borough and our processes and our teams/committees, such that we have ready people to put in new spots. And I thank you for that.
Good comment.
So how do we handle this,
Well,
solicitor?
Are there any other nominations?
All right.
So at this point,
All right, so then that would, go ahead.
I nominated Ed Lookenbill, right?
Right.
Oh, okay.
So
then
we
close
would,
the nomination.
we would close the nominations, right? And then we would take, help me with the proper
Sure. So the next step
terminology here.
is
I'm
to-
sorry, I had my hand up to be recognized by the chairperson. Just saying. I had my hand up, I was following Robert's rules, I had my hand up to be recognized by the chairperson.
Oh, my, we gotta do that again.
Help me here.
It's up to you guys, you figure it out. Whatever.
Is that the way it works, Tim?
Well, so is the issue who goes first? Is that,
That's what's happening.
okay? So,
You're a solicitor. I'm putting it on you right now.
Well, I mean, technically, he's the advisor in this.
yeah, it's certainly not my.
I don't want to drag him into the other room.
Poor guy. Poor Tim.
It's not my decision, right, who who goes first. The rules are such that the first person who is nominated is voted on first. So if
We're not following Robert's rules then?
that is Robert's
Oh,
rules.
okay.
So, but to your point, Dr. Rupp, if you said you had your hand up and weren't recognized and someone else nominated, then that's an irregular procedure in a sense. And I don't know how to resolve that other than council deciding who they want to vote for first, if that's the issue.
Well, that'd be,
Because-
that would be indirectly voting for the person, right?
Maybe not.
I support Barb.
Yeah.
Raising her, I mean, she did.
Where do we go? Help me here. Where do we go with this?
Okay. So what's the will of council?
I verbally brought it up first. You know, if you're sitting at one end of the table and you don't see the hand, how could you recognize unless you verbally talk first?
I'm with Counselor Funk.
I'm sorry?
I'm with Councilman Funk.
Yeah, we don't necessarily follow who is recognized here. I mean, technically, it's when people want to speak, they speak. So so I'm not making the decision. My advice is that the board decide.
Then I'm going to follow our effective policy or follow prior procedures such that the first one recognized would have been Mrs. Funk in a, to your point, Dr. Rupp, it's not well defined, and we need to improve that in the future.
I thought we had an ordinance that said we followed Robert's rules of order.
Well,
That's okay. You're in charge. It's okay.
All right, so, so how do we proceed forward with that then, Solicitor?
Well, just so it's not you making the decision.
Correct.
I think and again, if we're going to make a decision on who you vote for first, then let's make a motion to recognize one or the other first to be voted on, so the council as a whole makes the decision. Because we do follow Robert's rules. I mean, that's what we default to. But in practice, do we follow Robert's rules? Technically, not really. So I don't want there to be an issue that's decided by one person, that is the chair. So I think it ought to be decided by council.
All right, so based on that, what's our next move?
So someone needs to make a motion to vote on one of these two candidates first.
I so motion. On Ed Lookenbill.
To be voted on first?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so.
Can we get a second for that?
Second.
All right. Those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
I'm opposed.
Yes.
Any opposed?
Who's
I'm
opposed?
opposed. I'm opposed.
Obviously, Barb.
Opposed,
Dr.
so
Rupp's
Chuck.
opposed.
Barb and Chuck.
All right, Barb, Dr. Rupp and Mr. Hegberg are opposed. All right, so the remaining candidates carry. So what's our next process here?
So
I don't want to do this wrong, because this has been,
So because council desires to vote on Ed Lookenbill first, then the council takes a roll call vote on Ed Lookenbill.
all right? Lori?
Okay, voting for the nomination of Ed Lookenbill for 5th Ward Council, Dr. Rupp,
No.
Mr. Greenholt,
Yes.
Mr. Kress,
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes,
Yes.
Mr. Hegberg,
Yes.
Mrs. Funk,
Yes.
Mr. Rowland.
Yes.
Okay, that's it. So we have 6 in favor of and 1 against. So the nomination goes to Ed Lookenbill.
Why did we not have Dr. Rupp as,
She voted no.
I voted no.
oh, I'm sorry. Okay,
Yeah, we got her.
okay.
Can I make a motion?
We don't need to.
No, but I'll make a motion.
So,
That we settle the rules on this now if it ever happens again. This was a hard decision to make in the first place, replacing Chris. But I make a motion that if we make a rule to do something like this again, that we follow whatever rules that we're,
Establish the process.
yes.
We have to decide what kind of rules you're going to go by. The
We need
rules
to
of-
better formalize the
'Cause
process.
it's,
It's already,
yeah.
it's
'Cause
already
as a councilman
formalized. We're
and-
supposed to follow Robert's rules.
Just,
People
we
don't.
gotta do it. Because that's what Chris would have done.
That is what Chris would have wanted, but yes, you were correct.
Well, is there a motion on the floor right now?
Okay, so we have a motion then to appoint Mr. Lookenbill for the Ward 5.
What about
Yes,
Brian's
that was
motion?
first, Brian.
Oh, pardon me.
Sorry.
No,
I make a
okay.
motion that we set the guidelines now for, as what we're going to do the next time it happens.
I think, if I may say, I think that's a
It's a bigger, but
thing than we're ready to swallow here, but I think that could be taken in a side group to,
Refer to the governance committee.
yeah.
let's do
there
that.
you- Precisely, to Dr.
I'll
Rupp.
second Brian's motion.
I think, yes, to
So-
take Brian's motion to the governance
Send it to governance.
committee.
Yep, I'll make a motion to send this to governance so that we get a plan of action next time.
Fair enough?
Second that.
I'll second
Thank
the
you.
motion.
What do you
Okay.
want to do next time, Brian?
We're gonna formalize the procedure
So it never happens.
for
Okay, all right.
this whole process of,
If we have to do it again. like
well, not
this.
if, but when we have to do it again.
I like the word if.
So, and that we're gonna give that back to the governance committee, which Dr. Rupp leads, and we'll formalize that in the future.
Yeah, and then I need to go up there.
Thank you, council.
You sign it.
Thank you very
You
much.
signed it there, that's his signature.
I guess we need a,
Ed Lookenbill. Yeah, and then I gotta come up and notarize his certificate of residency. Okay. Are we ready to do this? We're ready. Ready?
All right. Mr. Lookenbill? Need you front and center, please. I'm going to officially swear you in as councilman for Ward 5.
That's one thing I like about Bill.
Dory is a junior.
Okay.
Okay, so if you want to come up here and see, raise your right hand and repeat after me. All right, here we go. Just repeat. I, Edward Lookenbill Jr.,
I, Edward Lookenbill Jr.,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
obey, and defend
and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of this Commonwealth,
of this Commonwealth,
and that I will
and that I will
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of council
of council
with fidelity. That's it for you.
You're not an
All
officer.
right, now,
Accept.
congratulations. Welcome.
there we go. Congratulations.
Excuse me.
Thank you very much. Thank you much for your willing to participate.
Appreciate you giving me a chance.
Could you give me your phone number, please? Write it down. Thank you very much, Ed. Thank you.
Mr. Lookenbill, can I just
Congratulations.
see you after the meeting? I have to notarize your certificate of residency.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thanks.
Congratulations. Sure.
We would normally have all this written up, but we didn't know it was gonna be.
Don't like that. I think, I mean, he's a smart guy and energetic.
Okay. And we just have to sign these 3 copies right there. All right, thank you. Okay, thanks.
Okay, I guess that brings us to any additional public comment? We have both here in the room.
So,
Oh, please
of course,
sit out.
my name is Isaac Riston, address 227 Locust Street, Hanover, Pennsylvania, 17331. One of the questions I had, because I don't know why it's being done like this, is for the fulfill an unexpected 5th Ward Council term until December 31st, 2023. Why is it for that till next year rather than the rest of the term, since Locker voted in 2021 for a 4-year term? So that's my question. I got that question from a lot of people who saw this and thought this was a misprint. And so to clear the air and for it to be recorded, I think would be nice for the public to hear.
So your question is, why is the term
Yes.
so essentially so short?
Versus the rest of the term.
Because the vacancy occurred more than 60 days from the next municipal election.
Got it.
And so at the next municipal election, the remainder of Chris Lockard's term will be up for a vote for the general public.
So the next municipal election or is it the next election in general?
In November.
My question was a municipal election or not. That was my question.
Yeah, it's in November.
Right, so it would be
Very short.
it's essentially a 3 or 4 month appointment, if you
Got it.
will.
Makes sense. Cool. That way it's easy for everyone to understand and people can stop asking me questions about why it's like that. I just wanted to make sure that's why I wanted to ask that. Thank you. That makes a
And
lot of sense.
that's established and mandated by the Pennsylvania Borough Code.
I love it. That makes it very simple, and that way no one can say it's being done for one reason or another, and that's how
Precisely.
it's always been, because it's 60 days before an election, right?
More than 60 days.
More than 60.
More than
Thank you.
60 days.
I'll make sure I write that down. Sick. Cool. Thanks.
Welcome. Any other public comment from in the room? All right. Any public comment from online? Okay. If not,
I do have a comment.
please.
Some other people may be wondering this also. I was wondering if we're going to do anything for Chris from us. Not from the borough, but from us. Something permanent, like maybe for the fire museum or books or something that is from us, that we would give money to something permanent for Chris to be remembered. I don't care what it is, but I'm just interested if anybody wants to even do anything. If you don't want to do anything, fine. I just want to see if anybody wants to do anything and then go from there. I don't know what to do.
I guess I would like to build on what Dr. Rupp is saying, and I think I would like to make some sort of a donation to something durable, as
Sure.
she was referencing.
I don't know what that'd be.
And I don't really know what that would be either. I did speak with Fire Chief Tony Klauscher about it, and he was going to speak with whomever there. But Dr. Rupp, would you be willing to lead
Scott,
that?
May I interrupt here?
Certainly.
Chris was part of our family, and what he would want is donations sent to the Hanover Fire Museum.
I agree.
And, you agree?
Yes.
And that would be his primary love in his entire life. And if you have any hesitation in what I'm saying, you can get a hold of his parents. But they will back me up on that.
Bringing up is identifying something, right, durable asset, whatever, that we as the council and perhaps mayor too can contribute our own funds to.
We could do it as a group, as a council, as a group,
Right,
donation.
in Chris's honor.
Correct.
We just need to identify what that might
Put his
be.
name on it, so it's remembered.
Right, or we can put Chris's name on it,
Yeah.
and it's
Monument of some
this
sort there, too.
train or whatever it might be.
Something.
So, well, Dr. Rupp, would you be willing to take that on, please?
Sure, who would I talk, sure, talk to Tony?
I think it would be initially with Tony.
Okay. All right.
Fire Chief Klauscher, and, you know, whoever he then designates as the,
So I'll get some possible ideas to bring him back?
absolutely.
Okay, I can do that. All right, sure.
Would that be, would be all okay with that?
With
Yes.
what?
With what I just said?
I didn't hear you.
Oh, with Dr. Rupp is going to talk with someone identified at the Fire Museum by Fire Chief Tony Klauscher to identify something that we can donate money to in Chris's name.
That's fine. Fine.
Thank you.
I know they talked before about with Andrea Goodson about an oak tree over in Work Park, but then they put their money toward the plaque with the Christmas tree type tree over in the Hollywood Square Circle. So I don't know if that, because that's what they were going to do. The firemen were going to do that over at Work Park. I don't know if that's an idea, an oak tree or something, since he was like a pillar of the community, oak trees or.
Well, whichever. I mean,
Whatever.
this,
It's just
I mean,
an idea.
I think where we're headed here, is
Basically,
this
let
is
Dr.
something
Rupp come
that's,
back.
I'll talk to Tony. I'll talk to Tony.
that's from us.
Get some ideas from us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right, with that, I believe I would take a motion for adjournment.
So motion.
Thank you. Second? All approved? Thank you. We're adjourned at 8:01.
I don't know.
The Fire Museum.